Here's what Marlon Brando said about the way he made a very handsome living. He said, "Acting is a neurotic impulse. It's a bum's life. Quitting acting, that's the real sign of maturity." He was right, of course, but he was caught in the vice grip of his prodigious talent, fame, money, power, so on. Didn't really stand a chance, did he? The great New Yorker film critic Pauline Kael said of him that he was an American original, and he was. He made a number of dogs, but in a handful of signature roles, he defined and redefined what the whole enterprise was all about. Brando in The Men, Streetcar, On the Waterfront, Viva Zapata, One-Eyed Jacks, Last Tango in Paris, and of course, The Godfather. He was operating in those films on cylinders that many of us don't have or don't even know that they exist. Teresa Wright made an unbelievable comment on the first scene that she did with him in his first movie, The Men. He's a paraplegic. He's in a wheelchair, and he's had this spinal cord injury. And actually, Brando moved into the Veterans Hospital, and he learned to play wheelchair basketball and did all that stuff and became one of those guys. And she said during the rehearsals, she kept thinking, what is all the fuss about? This guy has arrived to Hollywood from New York with this treasure trove of fame and power and so on, and he's giving us nothing. I mean, what is this? And then the director said, okay, let's do one. And when the director said action, she looked down at him and he was transformed. She said he was another person entirely. And when they finished the short scene, there was a long silence, and she looked up, and the hardened crew people, the grips and so on, were weeping. That's the kind of incredible actor he was. Even in second or third tier films, or some that were real stink bombs, Brando was always giving us something. Guys and Dolls, Julius Caesar, oh my God, he was brilliant in Julius Caesar. The Appaloosa, one of my all-time favorite westerns. The Chase, The Night of the Following Day. Burn, which was his favorite movie. Apocalypse, of course. The horror. The horror. And The Fugitive Kind, all were more than watchable, and Brando always had a little surprise or three up his sleeve. In The Freshman with Marlon Brando, with Matthew Broderick, Brando did an incredible trick. He turned his Godfather character into a kind of parody and cartoon by just shifting it slightly to the left. It was still a real character, but it was impossibly falling down funny. His personal life was, of course, a tumultuous mess. Marriages, breakups, suicides, custody fights, many, many girlfriends. So what did you expect? He's not a bank teller, to quote Seinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with that. He was a gifted artist. He was touched by the gods. And these freaks of nature, truly, we have to recognize this, come along only once or twice in a generation. Bette Davis, Michael Jackson, Mozart, Pacino. I remember even as a boy being excited by this new kind of actor, the actor who wasn't really just saying the words, but he was being the living, breathing soul of the man or woman, apparently in real time, right in front of our eyes. When we see the same rare phenomenon today with a handful of performers, we're thrilled and reminded of the possible. Pickle, genius, walks amongst us, and we can scarcely believe it.